A $65 billion budget has a huge focus on K-12 education, increasing spending to $16.7 billion. Beeson says the budget provides equal per-pupil spending in all districts.
This budget bill we just passed tonight includes important education funding to close the school funding gap in K-12 districts across Michigan. Closing this gap has been a goal of the legislature since 1994.
The spending will be $8,700 per student, regardless of what the school district they're in. The state Senate may take up the budget. With the passage of Michigan's budget in the state house, some of those funds are earmarked for dam safety. State Representative Annette Glenn led the effort getting those funds into the budget. The plan for the upcoming fiscal year approved includes $15 million for a dam safety emergency fund and $1 million to fund a new dam safety grant program. Glenn says that after the plan for the upcoming regular budget year is finalized, she will continue her efforts toward legislative approval of an additional supplemental budget plan that could add another $500 million in one-time funding for dam safety. The budget plan advances to the Senate. The Delta College Board of Trustees has approved both the contract for Michael Gavin and a short-term contract with retiring President Dr. Jean Goodnow following her final review. Board members entered a closed session to discuss Goodnow's body of work through the pandemic and, of course, her career, deciding on a 2% raise for the 2-month contract. While her contract ends August 31st, Goodnow says she'll be handing over the presidential duties on August 10th. Contract details for Dr. Gavin, which have not yet been released, do not include moving expenses, but the board approved a separate taxable allowance of $15,000 to help move him and his family from the Arnold, Maryland area. WSGW News Time, 9:07.
Your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do, but you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh and Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
WSGW News Time 9:08. The weather forecast is up next. The Dial Bay Area Family YMCA has announced the sponsorship of these for children. Free meals will be available to children 18 years and under, or those up to age 26 who are enrolled in an educational program for the mentally or physically disabled, recognized by a state or local public education agency. The meals will be provided without regard to race, color, national origin, age, sex, or disability. Children do not need to be present at the time of pickup, and meals will be provided at the Y at Bigelow Park. Contact Family Y or visit their website for more information. Michigan State Police are investigating in the Upper Peninsula after a suspect was killed during an officer-involved shooting that happened at a home in Iron River on the west side of the UP. The suspect was pronounced dead at the scene. It's not clear what led to the shooting. Michigan Attorney General's office says it believes 3,000 people in the state may have been sexually abused as members of the Boy Scouts of America. Dana Nessel has launched an investigation after learning about 1,700 Michigan residents had filed sex abuse claims against the Boy Scouts as part of a bankruptcy case. She released a post Thursday.
Please remember, this criminal investigation is separate from the civil litigation. So even if you filed a civil claim, I encourage you to call the hotline. It doesn't matter if the abuse occurred last month or years ago. You deserve to be heard, and we're here to listen.
The hotline number is 844-324-3374, and callers can remain anonymous. WSGW News Time 9:10. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weather out. And storms in the area today. Some of the storms could produce heavy rain near 78 degrees. Wind south-southeasterly 5 to 15 miles per hour. Higher gusts possible. Tonight, more showers. Storms still possible. Some of these storms also could produce heavy rain. Lows drop to 68. Wind south-southwest 5 to 15. Higher gusts remain possible. Saturday, showers continue. Storms continue to be possible as well. Highs head into the lower 80s. Then more showers and possible storms for Saturday night. This is meteorologist Phil Jensko with the WSGW Weatherology Forecast.
Right now it's 69.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, the Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show. Friday, as we come to the conclusion of another week, the last full week in the month of June, which has flown by. And we're going to get a little wet today, we hear tell. We'll have open phones for most of the program, but we're going to start out this morning talking to someone involved in an industry which is I think pretty interesting right now because of the cost of homes and things. And we say good morning to David Hall from Hall Financial in Detroit. David, good morning to you.
Art, good morning to you. How are you today?
I'm fine. Thanks for joining us for a little bit this morning. I have to ask, I mean, mortgage rates, which you guys deal in, right now, they're fairly low, aren't they, compared to historic rates?
Tremendously low, and we've seen rates fluctuating a little below and a little above 3% on a fixed rate mortgage, where I started in this business 26 years ago. If you'd said to me at any time, did I think fixed rates would ever get down around 3%, I would have said that sounds crazy. So it's certainly a historic time for homeowners to lock in a tremendously low rate that'll keep their family's payment low for a long time. Also, an opportunity for people to buy because of the fact that the payment is artificially lower, but certainly lower than you would have imagined on that size of a home.
Let me ask you, David, back in 2008, we all learned about a phrase called subprime. Have we gotten over that?
Well, yeah, I think that, the market today is very, very different. I mean, you have a situation now where there is no more really subprime business. And on top of that, there have been many compliance regulations put into place, including the ability of lenders and appraisals to have any communication. That's gone out of the business. The credit score requirements have gotten much higher. So, you just corner, but, we're the furthest thing right now from 2008. I would still call lending right now pretty tight. You have to qualify, and there are no no-doc loans. There is no wiggle room on that. So things have changed quite a bit over the last decade.
All right, let's talk about today's homes, because one of the things that's happening right now because of the shortage of homes for sale, I mean, this is definitely a seller's market, and people are getting substantial money over their asking price. How far does a lender go to finance that overage?
So great question. And we deal with this all the time right now because the stakes have never been higher for buyers that are making offers in terms of knowing what they're getting into when they go into it and having all your ducks in a row prior to. The short answer to your question is that typically the buyer will cover the amount that's over the appraised value. It's not financed. So in other words, if somebody puts an offer in on a house at $220, knowing it's probably going to appraise for $210, the buyer is paying that extra $10,000 above and beyond the financing, and that's a lot of what we're seeing. The offset to that is a tremendously low mortgage interest rate that is fixed, that your family can live with that payment for a long period of time, and you're willing to come up with that extra $5,000 or $10,000 above asking, sometimes more. Never really have seen a market like this before, so we're going to see where it goes, but you are 100% right that it is a seller's market, And buyers today are getting very frustrated, making many, many offers on homes they're not getting because there might be 10, 12, 15 offers on the same home.
Let's look at the other end of this, and that's the upfront money, typically a down payment or a deposit, if you will. The old standard used to be 20%. What is it now?
Yeah. So in short, you can, if you have a very good profile, you can do 5% down. It's been like that for a long time. That's not new to the industry. 20%, I wouldn't say it's the norm, but it's a lot of times where people like to be. It kind of depends on if it's your first home or if it's a move-up home. A lot of first-time home buyers who don't have necessarily a lot of money to put down but want to plant roots in a community and own a home will put down 5 or 10%. But 20%, especially for move-up homes, is pretty common. So it sort of depends on the situation you're in. There are government-backed loans that are available for 3% down. So there's a wide variety of options. And it really depends on what your situation is. And the good news with everything as it relates to people not getting in over their heads is that the restrictions on their debt-to-income ratio, meaning how much they make versus what they can afford, have stayed pretty restrictive and have not gotten out of hand. So that's good news for the housing market in general, is the affordability of the homes is pretty low.
Let's talk about a couple of these credit issues. First of all, you mentioned earlier that the credit score requirements are higher. What now is the bottom in terms of credit score?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, well, let me first start at the top, and then I'll answer your question, because 15 years ago, 680 or above was considered a really good credit score. That has moved quite a bit, where now it's 760 or above is the very best credit tranche in terms of getting the quote-unquote best deal. So it's moved 80 points higher, and that has contributed to what I think is a very healthy lending environment. You can get a mortgage with a lower credit score, meaning 650, 660, 670 score. It's just more expensive and a little more restrictive on what you can get in terms of lending, which is good for the industry and good for the consumer, and it will be good for the housing market. But just know that the old 680 15 years ago is now 760, which in my view is a good change and has led to a lot of very responsible lending.
David, I have to ask this question.
Sure.
Who's 760? By that I mean, if I go to the three major credit reporting bureaus and look up, for example, my credit score, I'm liable to get three different numbers. Which number is the right one?
Middle score. So good question. Middle score is the right score. So we see quite often where somebody might have a 770, a 761, and a 738. And so we go off the middle score. All lenders do. And so the great news is that if you have reporting something goofy or erroneously on your credit, you have a middle score to rely on. NBC News actually 2 weeks ago reported that 1/3 of all Americans have errors on their credit reports. I'm not sure I believe that stat, but I think that it's higher than most people think, which is why I always encourage people to keep an eye on their credit, because you want to take care of any errors long before you go to try and purchase a home.
All right, so let's look at that other credit issue that you brought up, debt to income. Let's make up some numbers here. Somebody with $100,000 income, how much debt should they carry? How much is too much? When do they fall off the grid?
Great question. So, $100,000 a year is about $8,000 a month. And we really don't want to see them carrying more debt than $3,500 a month. But that's really the max. The average is $3,000 in debt a month on an $8,000 annual salary. And, what I found is a lot of folks are being very conservative these days. We are running clients that on $100,000 annual income, They only want a $1,500, $1,800, $1,900 house payment. I think that, the attitudes of people have changed. I don't think it has to do with the pandemic as it relates to that, but just financial responsibility, I think, has increased to some degree as it relates to housing. I also think that the pandemic has caused people to value their home more, meaning they're more likely to do some remodeling, take better care of it, make improvements. People are spending more time at home than ever, and we've seen some trends there that are going to be interesting to see what's that going to look like in 2022. But a lot of interesting things happening today, both financially and within the home.
David, can you hang on? I've got to take a break. I'd like to carry you through another segment.
Absolutely.
All right. We will be back. We are talking to David Hall from Hall Financial about mortgages and lending and those kinds of things. Let me take a moment to talk to you about your car, because if you're looking for a newer one, got some great news for you. There's good news, bad news out there right now. The bad news in the new car market is dealers are very, very thin on inventory because of the chip problem we've all heard about. But this has put focus on previously owned cars. And if you are looking for an excellent selection to choose from, I'd suggest you visit the Thalen Auto Group in Bay City for your next car, truck, or SUV. Look over one of the largest inventories of previously owned vehicles in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thalen has hundreds of vehicles to choose from, including premium luxury vehicles to everyday drivers in all price ranges. And remember, Thalen searches the market for the lowest prices on their used vehicles. That's the price they pass on to you, and they do it because it's the right thing to do. Financing is also easy at Thalen, no matter your current credit situation. Visit the Thalen Auto Group today on North Euclid Avenue in Bay City, or you can visit their inventory online if you'd like, thinkthalen.com. Test drive the vehicle you're interested in, and then sit down with a Thalen representative to find out how easy it is to take it home. The Thalen Auto Group, they've been serving your automotive needs for the Great Lakes Bay region for 44 years, now in their third generation of family ownership. Take a break. We'll be back with more with David Hall after these notes.
Grab some summertime spending cash at Saginaw Eagles Landing. It's the Summer 5K giveaway and your chance to win a cool $5,000 every Saturday in June. Each week at 10 p.m., one lucky player will win the $5,000 cash grand prize. That's $20,000 grand total. K giveaway every Saturday in June. Only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Let your fun out. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
At Bowles Builders, demand is through the roof. To keep up, his business needs a stronger foundation.
Cut the saw, all right? Just one sec. Bowles Builders, this is Bal. This weekend? Yeah, we can do it.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Consumer spending held up in May, flat compared with April. However, Americans had less money than April when government stimulus was still being distributed. Personal incomes declined 2% in May. Americans are going out more as states and cities lifted restrictions and stimulus helped household savings. Restaurant spending increased, spending on cars, furniture, and building materials declined. Americans bought a lot of used cars this spring. CarMax, the used car dealer company, sales jumped to a record in the spring quarter. Wendy's is getting ready to launch its own plant-based burger. Wendy's will test a spicy black bean burger in Columbus, Ohio, Jacksonville, Florida, and Pittsburgh starting Monday. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
If you're tired of the old cable news, you now have a choice. It's Newsmax. Every minute, Newsmax gives you the real news you can trust. Watch people like Ben Carson, Mike Huckabee, Alan Dershowitz, Dick Morris, Nancy Brinker, Giuliani, and more. Newsmax is on all major cable systems or free on Roku, Zumo, Pluto, YouTube, and most smart TVs. Plus, download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone and start watching Newsmax now, America's trusted news source.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This July 4th at Lowe's, get $10 off 1-gallon cans or $40 off 5-gallon pails on select interior and exterior paints, stains, and coatings via Lowe's gift card rebate. And with everyday appliance, $50 now on select major appliances. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. Actual size 110 to 640 fluid ounces. Rebate not valid with other discounts. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details. Savings instant in select stores. Exclusions apply. U.S. only. Paint pricing valid through 6/30. In-store must ask cashier to apply coupon. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Can't be combined with additional discounts. Valid through 7/14.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
Doug. And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you...
So close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
2-1, Serena shot on one hop to third, bobbled by Candelario, but down to second one. Castro's relay to first. Got him! Beautifully turned double play.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back on the Art Lewis Show. We're talking to David Hall. He's president and CEO of Hall Financial. They are in the mortgage business. We'll talk more about the company in a moment. But David, I have to wonder, with a couple of pricing factors at work here. First of all, the cost of building a new home with the price of lumber, where you used to be able, and I'm going to pick numbers out of the air, you used to be able to build a home maybe for $100 a square foot, probably costs you $250 a square foot now. And the other side of that is the price of homes has gone up and people are paying more. Is that driving up the comparables? Are we going to see more money available to finance a home because the values are higher?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Another potential prices going up is going to drive a lot of demand. I think that's one of the reasons, along with low mortgage interest rates, that you're seeing the seller's market. Building is not a great option compared to buying an existing home, at least financially speaking, because you would think that, with home prices gone up, the average homeowner from 2020 to 2021 over a 12-month period picked up $20,000 in equity in America. And it was even a little bit more than that in Michigan. So, you have home prices going, has a lot of buyers thinking, what's the alternative to buying a new home? And you hit the nail on the head that building costs have gone up so dramatically too. That's only enhancing the opportunity for home prices to go up. So I get the question all the time, where does it end? Because I do not believe that we can continue to see 12 to 15% year-over-year growth on home prices. But for homeowners that have gotten that over the last year or two, it's certainly a nice little nest egg for them for the future. But you've got it on that. You nailed it about the building costs. It's absolutely a factor.
Let me ask about timing. How long should someone expect it to take from the time they decide they want to buy the house, they make the offer, it's accepted, now they have to get the mortgage? How long are we talking about in terms of mortgage approval and seeing the cash on the table?
So the typical scenario in America is it's 47 days. It takes 47 days. Our claim to fame at Hall Financial, by a couple of things that we've done, we're trying to change that for consumers, is the average for us is 14 days on the majority of our loans. It's 10 business days. So how do we do that? Well, one, we overstaff our team by design. In my 26 years in this business, one thing I've always seen is a lot of lenders try to skimp by on operational costs so they can make more money. And I always tell our team, we're trying to build a reputation over 25 years. That's not going to happen by skimping on operational costs. The second thing is just a commitment and a passion to getting people the answers that they need quickly. Typically, when people buy a home, my old mentor used to tell me, that people, when they buy a home, they're temporarily insane. And so he would say that in jest, that it's because there's so many things going on between new schools and moving and the costs and everything else that, a family has to deal with. It's just really important that we get things done quickly. So to me, the accuracy in which we do things is obviously a given, but we are always looking at our turn times because people want to be in process to get a mortgage about as long as they want to sit in the chair at the dentist. The quicker, the better.
Oh, yeah.
So we are focused on the speed of the transaction because that gives people a lot of alleviation to their anxiety.
Many years ago, I had a conversation with a banker friend of mine, and he tried to explain to me mortgages and how they get sold and divided up into packets, and stuff was way above my head. If I come to a mortgage lender, you or anyone else for that matter, and you grant me a loan, who do I owe that money to? Who do I end up paying?
Good question. So next time in today's world, your loan is going to get transferred to a different servicer. And the reason that is because the origination part of the mortgage business and the servicing side of the mortgage business, they've turned into two different businesses. 26 years ago, you were more likely to pay your loan to the same person that you got it with. Well, these have become two different businesses that are specializations. And so as much as I'd love for there to be just a place that you could always send your payments that was the same as the place you got your mortgage, that's just not the way that the industry has turned. And so we've seen a lot of good in that because companies that are good at origination are typically not good at servicing the mortgage, and companies that are good at servicing the loan are typically not good at originating mortgages. So it's kind of a good news thing for the consumer to get their head around. Wherever I get my loan from, I may not make my payment to. Again, one key thing that we use at Hall Financial is no matter what your questions are, you call me, you call David Hall, and we get it sorted out with you. That's part of our commitment to service for our clients. Nobody wants to get stuck in 1-800 nonsense. So call us and we'll take care of things for you.
And so just to clarify one little aspect of this, Hall Financial gives me a mortgage, and then I end up with a servicing company, which is fine. I want to be assured that servicing company can't change the terms of the mortgage. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. That is a compliance, regulatory, that just doesn't happen. So, yeah, they would not change the terms of your loan. Now, 20 years ago, a little bit of that would go on. Not a lot, but a little bit. And it wasn't necessarily changing the terms as much as people not understanding the fine print. That's why you've got to use a lender that you trust, that has a reputation with 5-star reviews and has clients that love them, so you know that when you go somewhere, somebody else has already done the shopping for you to some degree. So, yeah, the terms of the loan are not going to change.
David, where can people find out more about Hall Financial?
Well, they can call us anytime at 248-308-5000, or they can go to our website and get some information at callhallfirst.com. That's callhallfirst.com.
Well, David, thanks for spending a little time with us this morning. Very enlightening, to say the least. Appreciate it.
Really appreciate your time as well. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. Yep. David Hall from Hall Financial. We appreciate his time and a little bit of understanding of the mortgage market, which has always been kind of one of those, they're darned if you do, darned if you don't things. You know, you have to have one if you have a house, unless you paid cash for it. And the other side of that coin is you always wonder what's behind it all. So there we go. All right, we're going to have open phones now for the remainder of the program right through 11 o'clock. Whatever you'd like to chat about at Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Inside the state of Michigan, the toll-free number is 866-790. WSGW outside the state of Michigan, 989-752-6111. We'll be back after these notes.
Designed for any room and any climate. Hi, this is Mary Ann from Ward Solitech Luxury Vinyl Flooring from Mohawk offers unmatched durability with a range of stylish hardwood and tile visuals in multiple sizes and widths for maximum design flexibility. 100% waterproof, stain, and scratch resistant, your kids and pets are no match for Solitech. Come in and let our design team help you select the floor that you have always wanted. Warden Interiors on North Main Street in Frankenmuth will help you bring it all together.
The time has come to party. Join us this Thursday through Sunday. It's the 71st Annual St. Stan's Polish Festival, June 24th through the 26th. Plenty of bands, 4 fun-filled days of polka music, along with homemade Polish and American food, tent, raffles, and an entertainment tent with a dance floor. Also, the Skirbeck Family Carnival and its amazing Midway. 2501 John Selinsky Drive in Bay City. Visit us on Facebook for each day's special events, the 71st Annual St. Stan's Polish Festival. We'll see you there.
Menards has Sylvania's new True Wave Natural Spectrum LED bulbs. They offer the best in lighting technology and bring out the positive feelings of happiness, relaxation, and warmth while reducing eye strain and improving the sleep cycle. Right now, save 11% on all True Wave LED bulbs. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through June 26th. Savings are mail-in rebates. Store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Great Lakes Bay Health Centers would like to remind you that building a defense against COVID-19 will take all of us. That's why we're proud to offer not only COVID testing, but also free COVID vaccines at multiple locations. Visit GreatLakesBayHealthCenters.org for comprehensive information on locations and times near you. The only way this pandemic will end is with us. So let's all do our part to stay healthy and get vaccinated. Please remember to continue following safety measures to keep yourself, your family, and our community safe. Together, we can finally end COVID-19.
How about a vacation? Oh, true. Where do you want to go?
I want to go as far away as
Yeah?
as far away from my car payment as possible.
That sounds like paradise.
Take the summer off from your auto loan payment with Members First Credit Union. For a limited time, refinance your auto loan from another institution with MFCU, and we'll give you 1% cash back of the loan amount. Plus, you can defer your first payment for up to 90 days. Take a vacation from your auto loan. Apply today at mfcu.net/auto. That's mfcu.net/auto. Members First Credit Union.
Cashback is 1% of loan amount. Minimum loan value $5,000. Amount $300. Auto loan must be refinanced with MFCU from a different financial institution. Option to defer first payment for 90 days from origination date. Interest will still accrue during deferment period. Vehicle model 2015 or newer. Some restrictions may apply. Offer expires 7/31/21.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project, we are behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Ogama County Fair. You are going to get an Ultimate 2021 Fair Package for only $89.50. Don't miss the 40+1 anniversary of the Ogama County Fair, August 17th through the 21st in West Branch. The Ultimate Fair Package gets you 2 concert tickets to John Michael Montgomery on August 20th, 4 gate passes, 4 home-cooked dinners, and 4 grandstand passes. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW, and we have open phones today. So let's find out what's on the mind of some of our listeners. We have Joe with us in Saginaw. First, Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Lewis.
Morning.
I'm calling in reference to the interview with Representative Dan Kildee that you had on the radio, I believe, yesterday or the day before.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was asked about the immigration problem, and he made the assertion that there was no problem. And in fact, it is not the responsibility of the Biden administration. And he pointed to the triangle countries as the root cause of it. And I just thought it was such flying in the face of the numbers that we're getting from the border, that it was clearly a party line, but not based in fact. And I wondered why we did not challenge it.
Because they're all saying it, and you can challenge it, and you get the exact same answer. I've done that before. Been there, done that. Here's one thing that is happening today. Vice President is finally going to the border, and she's going to be down in El Paso today, and getting a firsthand view of what's actually happening. Whether that's going to change anything or not, I doubt it.
Well, I'm just, I'm not attacking you, sir, but...
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're
I
saying.
jumped out of my seat when he said it, and I said, Art, say something. Say something. It's, flying on the facts of what's going on.
I've been there before. I've done that before. The results end up the same. So you reach a point where you just let people live or die by their own words. And
all right, well, I understand that. They were his words, not yours.
Yeah, well, it's. I could have asked him 3 times and would have got the same answer 3 times.
I just find that very. This is what's going on in this country, that people refuse to accept facts for what they are and put forth a party line that needs to be parried. And they do it on both sides. I understand, but I do believe that we should challenge these statements that are patently false. I mean, if he asserted that it was a stolen election, you would have said something, or something else that has currently.
It depends what the conversation is. It really does. It depends on the conversation.
Well, I understand you were providing a platform, and it's not your position. I mean, not your job to knock him off this platform. So I just wanted to make a statement. I just
I'm glad you did.
That was a reaction I had when I listened to Mr. Kildee's assertions.
Yep, and you will probably have that reaction every time you hear him, or others of his belief.
Very astute.
You know, or others of his belief. You know, let's face it. So that's the reality. It's the reality today.
Both sides of the issue.
You know, it's a reality. Yeah, well, that's true. And the reality today. Listen, immigration as a topic has probably been kicked down the road more times by more administrations and more Congresses than any other issue in this country. Somehow they cannot come to grips with dealing with it. And I have to say, I think that you know, in reality, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the first guy that really tried to grab the bull by the horns was Trump. And he tried to do something about it. But, you know, now a lot of what he did is getting reversed, and the problem is rearing its ugly head as it has, you know. So, you know, where are we going with it?
I think we should have fixed blame where it belongs.
Well, you can, but it doesn't change anything. You know, that's the thing. The problem with the blame game is it's just words.
All right.
We need action.
I find it disconcerting that representatives can come up with statements that are just flying in the face of facts.
Yeah. All right, Joe.
All right. Thanks for your time, sir.
You bet. Bye-bye now. And let's go to Bad Axe. We'll talk to Brian this morning. Brian, good morning to you.
Good morning, Art. How are you?
We're well, thanks.
I would ask if you could ever, in the future, get a show, get a commentary going with the VA. Would you think that they would ever come on your program and answer some awfully pointed questions about the way they're treating the vets today?
Well, I could certainly get them on. Let me ask you some questions about that. Okay. My impression, and now again, this is my impression, and not being a vet, not using their services, I'm certainly not on the inside of the VA. My impression has been that over the last, let's say 4 or 5 years, particularly since the abuses came to the forefront in places like Arizona and elsewhere, that we've improved our services to vets. Am I misreading that?
Well, in some cases, yes, they have gotten better. But my complaint is, now the last caller just mentioned a gentleman's name, Mr. Kildee.
Yeah.
And he went on national TV after the supposed insurrection, riot, whatever you want to call it,
oh my God, I've got PTSD and all of this, that, and the other. Now
I remember that.
vet I have two brothers over there. I was Navy, one was Army, and one was Marine, so we covered them all. No wonder we lost the war. But anyway, I had a brother that served 2 tours in Nam, had a Silver Star, 2 Purple Hearts, and it took him in excess of 40 years to get any help for PTSD. Here we get a politician that had a run-in with, oh my God, they're going to get me, and he goes to the forefront. Like, really? There is a lot of room for improvement here. You have to fight for everything because the VA categorically will say, well, you didn't get it here. You did not get it there. It just didn't happen. So now it's up to you to prove that it did.
Yeah.
And it's a sad state of affairs. I've been asked by the VA and others like me, what do you expect us to do? You know, we have limited budgets. Do what you promised 40, 50 years ago.
Bingo.
And they didn't do it. They're not doing it.
Yeah, that's that. That would be, boy, I'm right with you, because those of you who serve this country, and thank you for your service and your family's service. As far as I'm concerned, we have a contract with you, and that contract says, here's what we're going to provide you when you get out. We damn well better live up to it. I have to tell you, when the stories came out years ago about the insufficiencies in the Veterans Administration, I was livid that we could do that to people who gave us everything we have. And, I thought we were seeing great improvements. And I understand your comments about Representative Kildee, Congressman Kildee, and his PTSD. I fully understand that. I thought we were making progress, though, so I didn't give that much consideration. I thought we were making progress in treating PTSD. I thought it was recognized now that, that it's there, it's real, and that they were taking it seriously.
Well, you have different things out there, like I said, whether it's PTSD, whether it's, any amount of things out there. The vets out there need some help, and the standard answer is, well, you have to prove that you got it here. Well, how do I do that? Well, the convenient thing for the VA is, well, those records are missing. Or, well, no, those records got destroyed, or there was a big fire. Like, really? And that's my problem? How?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In fact, they told me, they said, well, when you had this problem, you should have told them people, but they had to write it down. They had to take it in. You just had to stand up. I said, I'm E4, and there's a captain in the military that's saying you're going to do this, and I'm going to tell him you're not going to do it that way. You're going to do it my way. It's not.
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, Fort Leavenworth is full of a lot of people like that, and it's not a good place to visit.
Yeah,
and the VA will, and they'll do this with a straight face.
Yeah. Well, let me see what I can do. Let's see if I can find somebody.
I would really appreciate that. I think it would be interesting.
All right, we'll see what we can.
It would be a standard answer, but
we'll see what we can do.
Fun.
We'll see what we can do.
All right.
Great.
Well, thank you very much, Art.
Thanks for calling, Brian. Bye-bye now. All right, let's take a quick break, and we will be back with more on the Art Lewis Show. We'll get to Jack and Carlton when we return.
So, what do you think?
You nailed the custom cabinets.
And the countertop is perfect.
It makes the space.
I'm in love with my kitchen again.
Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery showroom and design makes your dream spaces a reality with custom countertop options like Corian, granite, and quartz, offering both in-store and in-home personalized consultation. We're with you from inspiration to installation. Your dream space is just a phone call away. PremierKitchenandBathGallery.com.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier. In Empower Your Retirement, they talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just surviving and thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
When the forgotten poor are in need of healing, they wait for a ship unlike any other. Mercy Ships, a floating hospital staffed by volunteers, heroes of mercy who donate their time to save lives.
Every human has the right to have a place at the table of the human race.
If you could just see the smiles that you get when lives have been changed, then it would make it all worth it.
To learn more about Heroes of Mercy, go to mercyships.org.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to him, life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. forhims.com/LOVE.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Great Lakes Charter Captain Ed Rutherford checks in from Northern Lake Huron. In hour number 2, we're talking catfishing with Catfish Andy Brennan, and this week's Ask Avery segment deals with the Michigan bear and elk drawings. Finally, in hour number 3, we're talking summertime whitetail scouting with Tim Roller of Whitetail. Sunday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show, and back to our phones. We're going to go to Carlton and talk to Jack this morning. Jack, good morning to you. Morning, Jack.
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, I wanted to follow. I didn't get a chance to call yesterday. You were talking about playing stickball on the streets in New York.
Yeah.
And former Saginaw Township manager Ron Lee's a friend of mine.
Oh,
He
yeah.
always told me stickball on the streets of New York, and I'm wondering, boy, did your paths ever cross?
Only here, not in New York. I knew Ron very, very well. He's a really neat guy. I love Ron. And we talked several times about that. But no, we never crossed to New York, but that's a rather big place. It's rather huge. There are people in New York. There are people in New York City who live in neighborhoods, maybe 6-block neighborhoods, that never leave those neighborhoods. I couldn't live that way, but they do. They got everything they need right there, and that's all they care about. So, yeah, you don't.
He had mentioned if something ever got broke while they were playing stickball, they would just move 1 block over.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. Now, usually things didn't get broke. You were using a soft rubber ball. You had a broom handle, which was your stick. But typically things didn't get broken. But once in a while, you never knew. Something could happen.
Right.
Oh, those were the days. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, Ron and I, we spent many a time reminiscing about some of those things.
Yep, I just saw the call, and I missed yesterday, so I thought I'd give you a buzz.
Well, glad you did. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye now, Jack.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, those, listen, that's, it's part of my history. And we all have our own histories that shape who we are, our parents, the neighborhoods we grew up in, the lifestyles we were surrounded with. They all tend to shape us. Sometimes for the better, hopefully. sometimes not. And I say that with an eye on the big discussion today about racism. Because as I've said many, many times, no child is born on this planet with a prejudiced bone in their body. It is strictly a learned behavior, which means somebody's teaching it. Whether it's parents or peers, whether you learn it on the street, or you learn it in your house, or somebody else's house, or heaven forbid, even school, it's a learned behavior. And we're all products of our upbringing, from the serious sides of it to the fun sides of it. It shapes who we are. And I would not trade in my childhood for anyone's. I have to tell you, I had a great childhood. And the streets of New York was a fun place to be at the time if you knew how to do it. You got street smart. I mean, you weren't ignorant to what the potential problems were. But you made friends with everybody. It was a survival thing. All right, we're going to take our last break for this hour, but we have open phones next. We'll be back with more after these notes.
Wool Files in Saginaw is looking for an experienced parts counter person. You must be prompt, dependable, and knowledgeable in lawn and garden equipment. Qualified candidates can make good wages and receive an excellent benefit package at a clean, well-respected local business. For an opportunity to fill this rewarding position at one of the area's oldest, highly respected repair shops, bring a resume and apply in person to Dave at 5818 State Street, Saginaw, between the hours of 8 a.m. and position and starts now. Wool Files, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw. Wool Files is an equal opportunity employer.
There are a lot of decisions to make before you decide to spend your hard-earned money. How will it benefit me? Which features stand out? How much does it cost? And is it the best value? You need knowledgeable people helping you make the best decisions. Somebody that knows what they're talking about. Whether you're remodeling, dining out, planning your financial future, or making the right choices in running your business, the members of the Independent Business Association of Saginaw County are your best trusted source. The IBASC businesses serve this area with expertise, professionalism, and some of the best customer service anywhere. When IBASAG.com, you'll find them. They're your neighbors who live and work in Saginaw County. They own local businesses and provide jobs to hundreds of residents. They're volunteers. They donate their time and money to local charitable organizations and care about your community. Keep the dollars here. Spend at the locally owned companies that make up the IBASC. People you know, businesses you can trust. For more information on these great businesses, visit IBASAG.com.
Hi, break time?
I know you.
I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis.
About screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. An online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
It's all about the nose. It's your air filter, the first line of defense against bacteria and viruses. If too many germs get stuck in your nose, guess what? You get sick. That's why it's so important to keep your nose clean, just like washing your hands. Now there's a better way to keep your nose clean and help your body protect itself. It's called Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, bacteria, and viruses. At Navage.com, CVS, Walgreens, Bed Bath, Target, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navage.
That wraps up the first hour of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Coming up, CBS News and the local report. And then we'll be back with hour number 2 which will feature more open phones right up through 11 o'clock this morning. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Indeed.com. I'm Peter King in Surfside, Florida.
We will continue search and rescue because we still have hope that we will find people alive.
Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava is among those hoping for the best, but the numbers keep getting worse as search and rescue teams look for survivors underneath the rubble of the condo building that collapsed here yesterday.
Our unaccounted for number has gone up to 159. We can tragically report the death count is now 4.
Those search and rescue teams are now working from above and below, hoping for any signs of life. Miami-Dade's fire chief says they've heard tapping that indicates that there are survivors. I'm Peter King in Surfside, Florida. Now with more CBS News, here's Cammie McCormick.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin will be sentenced a few hours from now for the murder of George Floyd. Correspondent Jamie Yukis.
He'll return to court for his sentencing by Judge Peter Cahill. Cahill will examine arguments from the prosecution and the defense, victim impact statements, a pre-sentence investigation into Chauvin's past, and any statement Chauvin might make before delivering his sentence.
He could be sentenced to decades in prison. Vice President Kamala Harris has just arrived in El Paso, Texas, where she'll get an update on the Republican Congressman Tony Gonzalez represents the area.
Ideally, it's more than just a photo op. I hope what this visit is about is her coming down and just listening to others. They're the ones that live on the border every day. They're the ones that see it firsthand.
Harris has been criticized for not visiting the border. She leads the president's response to the steep increase in migration. There's a dangerous heat wave forecast for the coming days in the Pacific Northwest. Meteorologist Jeff Baradelli.
A truly unprecedented heat wave is now setting up shop Northwest, and it's going to be with us for quite a long time. It's going to last through Saturday and Sunday and straight into the middle of the upcoming week. Places like Portland could see an all-time high. Places like Seattle could very well break an all-time record high temperature. Places like Idaho and Montana and the rest of the states of Washington and Oregon.
Temperatures will be in the triple digits. Heavy rain in several Midwestern states is causing flash flooding, and there's more rain in the forecast. Americans getting fully vaccinated keeps dropping. The CDC says nearly 15 million people have missed their second dose. New numbers out this morning show consumer spending was flat in May and incomes dropped for a second month with stimulus payments winding down. The Dow is up 168 points. This is CBS News.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skills tests to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce, need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, you have no need for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers. The average family of 4 is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive offer and start saving today.
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 70 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mark Pritchard. A 35-year-old man was fatally shot at his home in Buena Vista Township. Harry Taylor III was found dead outside his home at 1730 North Airport Road around 4:30 Wednesday afternoon. Police continue the investigation, but no arrests have been made at this time. Anyone with information is asked to call the Buena Vista Township Police Department. A Frankenmuth man has pleaded guilty in an Isabella County court. 30-year-old Charles Reed shot and killed 33-year-old Chad Kuzma of Mount Pleasant July 15, 2020 at 505 South Bradley Street. He also pleaded guilty to assault with intent to murder for shooting 25-year-old James Gallagher in the leg during that incident. Reed faces up to 55 years in prison. His sentencing date has yet to be scheduled. The Saginaw Valley State University geography professor is conducting a study on U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's treatment of invasive species at the Frankenmuth Township Nature Park in Bay City. A grant from the Environmental Endowment Fund of the Bay Area Community Foundation is helping to support the study. Associate Geography Professor Rhett Moeller successfully petitioned for the grant, totaling over $5,000 for his Monitoring Invasive Species project, which started in early May and continues through August 2023. Besides monitoring the Fish and Wildlife Service treatment of invasive species, Moeller will inventory desirable species and create both short and long-term stewardship plans for the park. He will also hire a student employee to assist with research as a way of gaining experience in the field. WSGW News Time 10:07.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural. Right here. What could be sweeter than that?
I am so ready to go back to work.
I just need a chance.
So where do I start?
MidMichiganWork.com. Would you rather be just a driver, another employee, number on a spreadsheet, or a team member driving growth, friend to the face? If you want to be a valued member of a family that's growing and prospering every day, then Northern Logistics may be for you. Northern Logistics is now hiring CDLA truck drivers, both local and OTR. Northern Logistics offers great benefits, a strong emphasis on safety, 6-month bonuses, and a 401k match. Apply at norloworld.com. LOworld.com.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Republican lawmakers have voted to stop a $300 weekly federal supplement that's added to unemployed workers' benefits in Michigan, though the measure is expected to be vetoed when it reaches Governor Gretchen Whitmer. The Senate passed the bill on party lines 19-16 yesterday. Supporters say the $300 pandemic benefit, which is on top of the maximum state benefit of $362 a week, discourages people from rejoining the workforce. That's due to end September 4th under federal law. Democrats say money should not be taken from work. This will be the first weekend for full capacity for Michigan bars and restaurants, but for many, filling up with patrons won't be possible. Here's Michigan News Network's Sandra McNeil.
Not possible because they simply do not have enough staff. Carrie O'Neill co-owns the Rock on 3rd and Royal Oak. She says she needs people to fill positions from the back of the house in the kitchen to the front in servers, and she can't find anyone.
We do a lot of job postings on social media, and so you get a lot of resumes sent on Facebook, and then you try and set up an interview, and then people just aren't showing up for the actual interview.
And stood up 24 times on interviews in recent weeks. Yes, she's counting. She says she's been able to hire just one dishwasher.
A Detroit police officer has been charged with involuntary manslaughter for a crash that killed a lawyer in February. Tierra Funderburg is accused of disregarding a red light while rushing to help another officer at 1 a.m. when her patrol vehicle smashed into a car driven by Cliff Woodards. Woodards was a defense attorney who regularly had cases in Wayne County courts. After the crash, then Police Chief James Craig said he found the incident troubling, noting the high speed of the patrol vehicle. Funderburg's attorney has declined to comment on those charges. WSGW Newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Mike Percha.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see periods of showers and thunderstorms here for today with cloudy sky conditions and a high into the mid-70s. Winds out of the south around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. And for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, cloudy sky conditions, a low near 68. Chance for showers and storms, cloudy high of 82 degrees. Then by Sunday, a chance for rain showers here, cloudy high of 84. Monday, another chance for rain showers here, cloudy sky conditions, a high around 81 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Currently, it's 69.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to hour number 2 of the Art Lewis Show for this Friday morning, 25th of June, and we welcome you to an open line edition of the program. So whatever you'd like to chat about, and as always the case, sometimes first person in on the hour sets the tone for the whole hour, and we end up with a subject that we take off on. So whatever you'd like to chat about, you can give us a call. A couple of things I wanted to bring up this morning. One, the apparent bipartisan solution to infrastructure has been put forth in Washington, D.C. However, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Yesterday, the president was pleased to announce the bipartisan solution that he can get behind, $1.2 trillion. But if I'm not mistaken, I heard Nancy Pelosi say, and I quote, "It ain't going to happen," and she said that, "ain't going to be an infrastructure bill if there's no reconciliation on all the other things the Democrats want." So all I can tell you is don't count your chickens before they hatch. We'll see what happens. Rachel is in Bay City to start us this hour. Rachel, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Art.
Morning.
Well, I have a comment about your very first caller who brought up Kamala Harris going to the border. Ted Cruz had an awesome piece. I think he's on Fox Nation. And he is, of course, a Texan and very familiar with all of the happenings at the border, which she isn't. And she's going to El Paso. And he said that's the very western tip of the state. The Rio Grande Valley is the southern tip of the state. That's where this goes on. He described it as that is 800 miles away, and that Chicago is closer to Washington, D.C. than El Paso is to McAllen, Texas, at the southern tip Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, all right, hang on, Rachel. Hang on a minute. All of that's true, but it doesn't make any difference, and I'll tell you why. It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter where she goes. It wouldn't matter where she goes. It's all for the cameras.
True. True. And that's exactly the point. Like, it just shows the complete joke, farce, fallacy of everything that she's doing, that they are doing. Not showing the Donna tent camp, not doing, showing just all of it. It's insanity. It's just so ridiculous and disgusting. Like, how's this even reality? Like, we're literally living in Bizarro World. Like, Bizarro World is a comic book term that means backwards opposite. So, like, every single thing the Democrats do is 100% opposite of reality. Like,
oh, well, let's not wait just a second now. It's 100% opposite of the way you see things, and I'll agree with you there. And it's also the 100% opposite of the way I see a lot of things. But the reality is, listen. Well, all right, that name calling does nothing for the issues. Does nothing. Somehow the answer is simple. The answer lies in the midterm elections. The answer lies in taking back control of the House, taking back control of the Senate. That's what we ought to be concentrating on, because that's where it's at. All the rest of the conversation, all the rest of it, it's superfluous.
And that is where the focus and that's where people are focused on, is taking back in 2022. I mean, certainly that's definitely where the energy is going. But also, I definitely wanted to make one other point about, I think it was your last caller no, it was you. You were talking about race relations, etc. I have been a lifelong listener of SGW and always will be, and have been tuning into Mi Gente and the other show,
Green Bowen show.
Shades of Grey.
Yes.
Shades of Grey, yeah.
Good for you.
I definitely don't share either of their beliefs whatsoever. Although Mahente, certainly he talks about activities and things like that. Talks about certain characters in our community that need some light shown on them, and that is good. However, Shades of Grey, man, I've heard nothing but positive comments come in to you guys about it, but, he completely embraces critical race theory, and
yeah, I hear you, but here's the thing, Rachel. Bottom line is there's room for all kinds of thought and philosophy. And it's not our job it shouldn't be our job to stifle opinions we don't agree with. It's our job to present them and let people come to their own conclusions. And while I respect Kareem a lot, I may disagree with him on that particular issue, but that's an issue. Those shows serve, I think, a substantial amount of good, and I'm glad to have them on the air. You're not going to agree with everything they say, and you're not going to agree with everything I say, and you're not going to agree with everything any talk show host says. But
it's definitely completely topical at this moment in time.
Yeah.
But he's not on the right side of it.
Well, no, he's not on your side of it.
He's not on the right side of it.
Well, I know that's yours. Yeah, I understand what you're.
He's not going to win and turn over people to that side. He's only shining.
Well, I'd like to point out to you there are, and while I may agree with you, I want to point out to you that there are many, 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 many Americans out there that agree with it. And while you and I may disagree with it, but there are lots of people that have subscribed to it. So anyway, got to run, got to take a break. Thanks, Rachel. Good conversation. Thanks for calling. Carl, we'll get to you after the break here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show, brought to you by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty in Saginaw. Sellers are getting top dollar for their homes with the average of 1 day on the market. Linda Shepard sells faster. Buyers are cash or pre-approved. She does not waste any time. Easy to work with. No pressure tactics. Several years of experience. Linda's a full-time agent that lives here, sells here, and her agency, Pinnacle Realty, is not a franchise. So the money stays right here in your community. And buyers, the interest rates are still low. Linda Shepard watches the market closely, so clients get a showing fast and have a fighting chance. She'll fight for every offer, every time. Call Linda Shepard, Pinnacle Realty, 989-295-7713, 295-7713. Back with more after these notes.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Ogama County Fair. You are going to get a Ultimate 2021 Fair Package for only $89.50. Don't miss the 40+1 anniversary of the Ogama County Fair, August 17th through the 21st in West Branch. The Ultimate Fair Package gets you 2 concert tickets to John Michael Montgomery on August 20th, 4 gate passes, 4 home-cooked dinners, and 4 grandstand passes. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
If the pandemic's taught us anything, it's that the easiest way for germs to get into your body is the nose. We all know how to wash our hands. Your nose. For over 2 million Americans, the answer is Navage Nasal Care. Navage uses powered suction to flush out allergens, mucus, and germs that cause congestion, colds, and flu, so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. Better yet, Navage is all natural and drug-free. That's why one of America's top respiratory hospitals recommends nasal irrigation to stay healthy, explaining that bacteria and viruses thrive in warm and moist environments and that you can wash away those germs so they don't make your nose their home. Experience Navage at zero risk. Go to Navage.com, buy Navage, and use it for a month. Return it for a full refund. There's nothing to lose and a lifetime of better breathing to gain. Also available at Target, Walgreens, CVS, Bed Bath, and Rite Aid. Navage, Navhee.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opened higher. If the upside holds, there would be new records today for the NASDAQ and S&P. Americans were spending last month at the same pace as April, when stimulus payments were still being distributed. Consumer spending was unchanged in May. Spending on autos, furniture, electronics, and building materials declined, while restaurants for clothing and health and beauty items. There's confirmation that as payments ran out, Americans were making less. Personal incomes declined 2% in May. Also, prices are higher than last year. The Federal Reserve's core inflation reading indicates prices in May were 3.4% higher than a year ago. Nike's sales in the recent quarter nearly doubled from a year ago. The quarter was the strongest in the company's 50-year history. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda. Invested in you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. With ZipRecruiter, its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis. Weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern in Saginaw and Bay City.
2-1, swinging a shot on one hop to third, bobbled by Candelario, but down to second one. Castro's relay to first. Got him! Beautifully turned double play.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
Welcome back. The Art Lewis Show. Open phones. Carl's in Saginaw. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes. The music is really loud, Art.
Oh, is it? Well, I don't have any control on it. It's coming from the station.
I can hear the music. I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Well, there we are.
Okay. I'd like to talk about West Point in a second.
West Point.
But,
Wow. All right.
well, it's been in the news lately. But first, you had a caller the first hour talking about your interview with Dan Kildee a couple days ago. The caller said that Dan Kildee said, quote, there was no problem at the border.
Yeah.
I listened to that. I listened to that interview, Art, and I never heard Dan Kildee say that.
You know, I thought about that after the fact. I must admit that when he said that, I had to start thinking, did he say that? I don't remember him saying it either.
Not.
I didn't think he did.
He said the border is not open. He said the border is closed. He said they are having problems. He did talk about the triangle countries down south, but he never said there was no problem.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
So, let's not put words in people's mouths or misconstrue, what they said. I think he understands there is a problem. Just like many Democrats and many congressmen understand there's a problem there, a long-term problem. And yes, a photo op is not going to solve it. By President Trump standing in front of a wall, that's not going to solve the problem.
No, and her going down there isn't going to solve it either.
No, it's not. It's not. But apparently there's a big demand.
There's a big demand for photo ops too. Trump's going down there 2 days later. So, listen.
Well,
it's become the photo op territory, because listen, it's an issue that's been kicked down the can's been kicked down the road time and time again. Republicans, Democrats, I don't care who it is. And
yes.
Here we are today.
Okay, but I'd like to get to West Point for a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know that West Point has been criticized for some of the classes that they're teaching in, history, race relations, civil relations, that sort of thing.
I haven't heard that.
A lot of heat.
I'll have to look. I haven't heard it. Okay.
Yes. Well, yes, they've taken a lot of heat for being, quote, woke and being politically correct. And the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Milley, was in front of Congress 2 days ago, explaining why they teach these classes in history and race relations, that West Point is a university, and there's a reason they're doing these things. They're not just doing it to be politically correct.
So what's the reason?
Because they want their cadets to have a full understanding of history of this country. And we certainly, you got to be honest, the history that's taught in our high school and junior highs, the history books, it's very hit and miss. It's kind of a whitewashed version of what happened.
More so today than when I went to school.
Well, there's one small chapter on slavery, a few paragraphs about slavery or something in many of the history books that sort of thing.
Yeah, like I say, far different than when I went to school.
Okay, well, did you see on Fox News where Laura Ingraham is calling to defund the military?
No, I didn't see it.
And Tucker Carlson called this general a pig because he disagrees with him.
Yeah.
That's the kind of.
Well, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of theirs, and I have to tell you this. I was not a fan of Donald Trump's mouth, and when he calls people names, never have been. But like I said many times, I don't like the man. I like his policies, but I don't like the man, and I don't like people that have to stoop to name calling, because if you stoop to name calling, it means you haven't got anything else to say.
Exactly.
I mean, that's me. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Democrats did it to Republicans for a long time too, and it does not. To me, it diminishes your argument either way.
I agree wholeheartedly, Art.
Well, then we're gonna have a wonderful time agreeing. Listen,
right. Well,
you can't listen. You and I both know, in this world we live in, and because you and I have done it many times, we can disagree on any one of a number of philosophies and principles. It doesn't mean we don't like each other. Doesn't mean we call each other a name because we disagree. To me, that's the wrong approach. That does nothing.
I can respect someone who I may disagree with. You know, if they have a argument and they can put forth that behind it, but not calling names. That's
doesn't further anything. Doesn't do anything, and never will.
And to say one side is all this way or
Well,
all that
yeah,
way
that's not true
doesn't
either.
help the discussion. No, of course
doesn't true either. All right, appreciate it.
All right, enjoy the rainy weekend.
Yeah, I'm watching out the window right now. We're getting pelted. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Carl. Set up to Bay City, and Russ is waiting for us. Russ, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Well, seen in the news recently where Joe Biden wants to go after gun crime.
Yeah.
And then I saw where the Parkland parents went after the NRA. And then I see here in the news this morning where a judge in Saginaw plea bargained an armed robber down to practically, and he gets to, instead of going to prison for 20 years, he's going to some little rehab. And I wonder why we have the gun crime we do. You know, I mean, this is ridiculous. You want to go after the people that do it? Go after these judges that slap wrist or plea bargain the actual gun laws that are already on the books right away, so they mean nothing. Why write new laws if these judges are just going to let these people go?
Well, new laws won't do anything.
No.
You know, let's be realistic in terms of going after the NRA or going after the guns. That's historic. It's been going on forever, but so has plea bargaining. And when you talk to judges, first of all, each case is individual and unique, and they look at each case as an individual and unique case. They also have the recommendations of the prosecutors to deal with. So, you know, sometimes when these matters get to court, they've already been settled out.
And it's bogus. I mean,
well, like I said, it's individual.
They're not going to prosecute them anyway, because they're not.
Well, they do prosecute a lot. No. They prosecute a lot of them, and a lot of them go to prison. Okay. There are those that get plea bargained, and you read about them, and they upset you, and I understand that. But then you're not reading about the ones that go to prison, because there are a lot.
I'm so interested to find out what happens on the 29th with Barillo and these gun traffickers. I mean, they supplied the Saginaw's violent gangs with 50 guns, and they've.
Well, we'll see what happens. As I said, we're not going to prejudge it because we don't know what he's going to do.
Like I said, I'm real anxious to find out what.
All right, good. Then we'll wait and find out.
Oh yeah, and like it's like I said, it's ridiculous. No more gun laws. See, the next gun law be this: federal ban on plea bargaining current gun laws. If you get a gun charge, you get prosecuted for it. Because I'm okay with almost all the current gun laws. I got no problem with them. But they're not being prosecuted.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
Thanks, Russ. Bye-bye. Terry in Bay City. Terry, good morning.
How you doing?
Good.
Couple things, just listening to your show. I think the plea bargaining on the last one here, the way you say plea bargain is when they charge you with something they may have a 50-50 chance at best to get. So they get you to plead guilty to charge under that, and they're happy. They don't have to go to court. They don't have more expense, and they got a sure thing.
Yep, and that's why I say it's individual. Right. Each case is individual.
Correct. I mean, if they've got don't get plea bargain, but if they got a real iffy one, they love the plea bargain.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, number two, I don't understand anybody, like was previously stated by you, that you're 100% against everything Democrats do. You know, all their policies.
Well, I said I'm not.
Anybody has.
I am not.
You said that you're 100% against them.
No, I did not.
Replay your tape after.
Never did I say that. Never did I say
Now the
that.
guy was,
I have said continually there are good ideas on both sides, and we need to sit down and negotiate those good ideas.
I agree with you.
Well, that's what I've said.
I agree that, okay, here's one to all these people that are so much against one side or the other, and I'm not. I'm in the middle. I think
Most people
exactly
are.
what you just said. What they want on their side, and that's wrong as you can get as far as I'm concerned, because number one, who was the majority of the votes for the last two presidencies?
Say that again now.
Who got the majority of the votes for the last two presidencies?
Well, the winners, but that's not true.
No. Let's say it again.
No. Wait, just a minute. Just a minute now. In the 2016 election, Trump got the majority of electoral college votes. Clinton got the majority of public votes.
Right. Who got the majority of?
She got 3 million more public votes than he did.
Correct.
That was in 2016. Didn't happen this time around, though.
Okay, well, that's kind of the issue. I mean, if you want the world, United States to be Democrat, you got to negotiate between the two.
But what's that got to do with who got the majority of votes?
Well, you always talk about one side or the other. Some of your callers, they want it this way. Well, you got to go with the majority usually. That's the way our system works, isn't it?
No, it's not. Our system works with the majority of representatives. We are a representative government. So,
right. So your representative, who is your representative supposed to vote for? The majority of his people or the minority?
He votes for. I want him to vote his conscience.
Who gives him the money? He votes for who gives him the money. That's the way it is.
Well, all right. If you're going to go there, then you're going to chastise all the representatives in Congress, right? You think they all do that?
I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are.
Well, that's like saying all or nothing, one party or the other. You're chastising 435 congressmen. What you're saying is none of them do what's right.
What way did they try to make it? What way did they try to make it under the last president in there? Was it all or nothing or not?
Say that again.
When Donald Trump was in office, how did he try to make? Did he try to negotiate, or did he want it his way or the highway?
Well, he likes it his way or the highway, the same way Biden does.
Oh, Biden ain't negotiating at all? Zero?
Well, I don't. Listen. Biden, the first 5 months of his presidency, talked about unity, but did absolutely nothing to unify. Got what he wanted through reconciliation in Congress.
I
mean, the first
that the other side was up there fighting them all the way. I mean, wouldn't give it in.
Well, weren't they doing that? Weren't they doing that with Trump? Weren't the Democrats fighting Trump all the way?
Now, on all of Trump's issues, the first 2 years, who had control of Congress, who had control of the Senate, and who had control of the presidency?
Absolutely, and they failed him.
They did nothing.
They failed him.
Did nothing.
They failed him.
How did they fail him?
They failed him because they didn't give the president what the president wanted. His own party. Now, remember, that's his own party.
Right.
So, listen, what's new about this?
They had total control and they couldn't get it. Now they want control. Now, you got to negotiate. I don't care if you got total control or not. You got it. And
all right,
with total control, they couldn't do it.
We're going to end on that agreement. They do need to negotiate.
There you go.
All right, take care.
Okay, I agree.
Bye-bye. Take care, Terry. All right, we'll take a break. Be back with more on the Art Lewis Show.
Perfect. This is Dan Pohl, and I know your golf games aren't always perfect, and that's okay. But if you want the perfect golf experience, then come see us here at the Polecat. Don't wait. Go to polecat.net or give the Pro Shop a call. Remember, if your golf games can't be perfect, your experience can.
Ah, perfect.
Hi, break time?
I know you.
I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early. Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
This is a big deal. Now at healthcare.gov, millions more people can afford health coverage. Due to the COVID relief law, 4 out of 5 customers can get a plan for under $10 a month with financial help. From doctor visits to preventative services to prescription drugs, these are quality plans. You can do this. You can have coverage as soon as July 1st if you sign up now at healthcare.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
Allstate is known for quality insurance, but you might not know them for low rates. That's about to change. With Allstate, you can save up to 25% when you bundle your home and auto. You know what else you might not know? The chicken came before the egg. With Allstate, you can lower your rates, not your expectations. Visit Allstate.com for a quote today.
In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company, Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company, and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Ready for an oil change? The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts are here to help. We'll make sure you have all the supplies you need to make the job quick and easy. Right now, get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for just $28.95. Plus, get a $10 gift card after mail-in rebate. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, this is Mike Avery, and here's what's coming up this week on Outdoor Magazine. First, Great Lakes Charter Captain Ed Rutherford checks in from Northern Lake Huron. In hour number 2, we're talking catfishing with Catfish Andy Brennan, and this week's Ask Avery segment deals with the Michigan bear and elk drawings. Finally, in hour number 3, we're talking summertime whitetail scouting with Tim Roller of Whitetail Journey. Listen Sunday mornings at 9 on 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Direct from the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
Hi, back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. And I just got to go back Jerry's call and said that I said they're wrong 100% of the time. For those of you that have listened to me for any length of time, you know that I have continually said there are good ideas on both sides of the aisle, and you need to sit down and talk about them, negotiate them, take the best of both sides, and come up with a plan. And I just want to make sure that's understood. I mean, it is not in my nature to pan a whole group because I disagree with an idea. I may disagree with some of their ideas, but that doesn't mean that I take a big brush and say everything they do is wrong or everything my side does is right. That's nonsense in this day and age. Mike is in Bay City. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Art.
Morning.
My question is, as you know how they hold police officers responsible for when they make a mistake on a job, I believe one's getting sentenced today. Why don't they do the same thing to judges? So in other words, when a judge has somebody of violent crime and he releases them back out on the street, and within 24 hours we'll say that criminal goes out and kills somebody, why can't we hold the judge responsible for releasing him?
Because hindsight is 20.
They're doing it to police officers who make a mistake on the job.
No,
Why
it's
don't they do
different.
it to judges?
No, that's quite different. That's quite different.
Well,
And here's why. Here's why. The police officer's action, we'll talk about Chauvin because he's going to get sentenced today, was a direct action for which he was held responsible. A judge, first of all, makes judgments based on whatever facts are presented to him. And he makes those judgments to the best of his ability. There are no guarantees when you release anyone from prison that they're not going to go out and commit another crime. And that's the nature of the. Go ahead.
That are making the judgments are pretty irresponsible with the decisions they're coming up with.
Well,
in other words, if you got a guy that's been in 14 assaults and he shot 3 people and he's out of prison and he's back in front of you for a violent crime and you let him go again, I think that's pretty irrational.
Well, if you've got that much history,
I think it's pretty negligent.
If it's that much history, but here's the thing. Here's the thing about here's the thing about judges. You get to choose. If you don't like the way a judge has performed his duties, come election time, guess what? You vote him out of office. You can hold him accountable.
Another thing about voting, and I've listened to your show where you said you think it's going to get bigger parties more than the Democrats and the Republicans and then the independents. My idea would be, why don't we get rid of all the parties? We have no party, no Democrats, no Republicans, and you vote for the individual, just like you do in a high school when you elect a class president.
Because
maybe you have a primary where you get it down to 4 people, and then you keep eliminating.
You want to know why?
Why do you have to have a Democrat and a Republican?
You want to know why you can't do it that way? Because it would be a false front. We do that with judges now. Do you really think they're nonpartisan? Parties elect them, nominate them, back them. I mean, but yet supposedly it's nonpartisan. It shows up in a nonpartisan ballot, doesn't it? But the fact is, we all know they're like everybody else. They're humans.
If a Democrat comes up with a good idea, no Republican likes it. And if it comes out of a Republican's mouth, that same speech, every Republican likes it. You know what you could have Nancy Pelosi write a speech for Donald Trump and nobody would like it because they hate Donald Trump.
Yeah, but you could have Donald Trump write a speech for Joe Biden and nobody'd like it because they hate Joe Biden.
Exactly.
So it's, it goes back to what I've said all along. The far left, the far right make all the noise, and most of us live somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, you're true.
So
I always tell everybody, you could lock me in a cave for 10 years and come out and look around and you wouldn't notice who's president, if it's a Democrat or Republican.
I got you.
So I don't think we should get too wound up in politics.
Well, I agree. I mean, I think politics are important because we have to decide who we want to vote for. We want to vote for people that think like we do, and you don't always win. But reality is, life goes on. So. All right, Mike, I got to run, but thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call. Bye-bye now. All right, we'll be back. Let's take a quick one and then more coming up on the Art Lewis Show.
Hi, break time?
I know you.
I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Cologuard is not a replacement for colonoscopy in high-risk If you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
Lowe's wants you to bring the whole family back together this July 4th. We have new lower prices on select bagged mulch starting at $2.88 a bag. And add some sizzle with $50 off select Weber Genesis gas grills. Make this holiday one worth remembering. The summer savings continue this July 4th, so stop by Lowe's in-store or online. Lowe's, home to any budget, home to any possibility. While supplies last, selection and product availability vary by location. Valid 6/24 through 7/7. U.S. only. Mulch offer excludes allowed.
GrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Ogama County Fair. You are going to get an ultimate 2021 fair package for only $89.50. Don't miss the 40+1 anniversary of the Ogama County Fair, August 17th through the 21st in West Branch. The ultimate fair package gets you 2 concert tickets to John Michael Montgomery on August 20th, 4 gate passes, 4 home-cooked dinners, and 4 grandstand passes. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates. Finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Year for all of us, but the WSTW News team continued working hard to keep you informed through a pandemic, a 500-year flood, a presidential election, and much more. We're honored to be recognized by the Michigan Association of Broadcasters this year with 6 first-place awards and 5 Merit Awards for our flood coverage, COVID-19, sports, community involvement, and use of new media, along with the top award, Station of the Year. For 2021 and beyond, WSTW is your connection to the Great Lakes Bay region and the world.
All right, back with you. The remaining minutes of the Art Lewis Show. Still time to chat with you if you get in real quick. 752-6111, toll free in Michigan, 866-790-WSGW. And outside the state of Michigan, 989-752-6111. I go back to the bipartisan, word we can't use very often, bipartisan agreement on infrastructure. And 21 senators, Democrats and Republicans, about evenly split, came up with this package. It's strictly on what I would call hard goods infrastructure, roads, transportation, and the newest thing in infrastructure, which is part of infrastructure, broadband, things of that nature. What was stripped out of it were the family items, childcare, things like that, that are not infrastructure. Now, they may support infrastructure because obviously if you don't have childcare, you can't go to work, you can't be a construction worker, what have you. But that's not part of, it's not infrastructure as we think of infrastructure. So that was stripped out and put into a separate, it'll be put into a separate bill. You can expect to see that come before the Senate. You can also expect to see Democrats pass that through reconciliation. That's not a guarantee. Not a guarantee at all, because there are some within the Democrat ranks that aren't in favor. But you will see that happen. You'll see the infrastructure side of it, the $1.2 trillion agreed upon, as one bill, and you'll see the family part of it as another bill. Craig is in Midland. Craig, good morning.
Hi, Art.
Hi.
I just wanted to quickly take your part on the accusation that you said that you were 100% against everything that the Democrats do.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to you all morning, and I don't think I've missed a minute. And I think Cherry missed the word "not" or "never" or something in there because no, you never said that you were 100%.
Yeah, I can't even visualize myself saying that.
That's like using the word "all" for any situation. You know.
Yeah.
You can't say all in any case. Yeah.
No, I fully agree.
All right. Yep. Just wanted to.
All right. I appreciate the support.
Back you up on that.
Appreciate it, Craig. Thanks a lot. Bye now. Yeah, I couldn't even visualizing myself saying that. I have never ever been that way. And sometimes, you know, when we're listening to a radio show, because I've done this too. I've listened to other talk show hosts. Sometimes you hear what you want to hear. You don't often hear all the words that are said. That, by the way, was one of the great attributes of Rush Limbaugh when he was alive. He had the ability to say one thing and make you think you heard something else. And then when you go back and you actually look at the words he said, he didn't quite say it the way you thought you heard it. He did that a lot. We're going to take our last break, and then we'll be back to close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show.
Imagine a place so inviting that it becomes your home. The Wellspring Senior Living Campus in Saginaw is designed to the fullest. Our tailored approach to independent and assisted living fits your lifestyle and preferences. If you'd like the Wellspring family by your side, encouraging you and your loved ones every step of the way, schedule a tour at Wellspring Senior Living Campus today at SaginawSeniorLiving.com.
I'm CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger with a quick tip from H2O Wireless on stretching your budget and saving money every month. Start with your recurring monthly bills, and here's the easiest one, your cell phone bill. Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile charge premium rates for unlimited data, when in all actuality, for that much data. H2O Wireless, on the other hand, is on the exact same network as one of those carriers, but charges you half. The average family of four is saving over $70 a month without having to sacrifice coverage. And listen to this, unlimited talk, text, and 15 gigs of data for just $36 per month. Switching is as easy as swapping out your SIM card. You can keep your phone and your phone number. Here's how to get the best deal. This month, dial pound 250 and say keyword get H2O. You'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Dial pound 250 and say get H2O for this exclusive off today.
Prescription products require an online consultation. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
My husband's ED was affecting our marriage. When he first started experiencing ED, it was difficult for both of us. We didn't know who to talk to about it or where to get help. HIMSS was our answer. HIMSS connected my husband with a licensed provider online. He was able to get medication to treat his ED at a fraction of the price people pay for the name brand. It was delivered to our door, and guess what? Our sex life is back. It works.
Right now, get your first online provider's visit totally free when you go to forhims.com/love. Yep, free. No copay, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. Just the care you need.
Thanks to HIMSS, we got our sex life and our marriage back.
To start your free online visit, go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/love. That's forhims.com/love for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/LOVE.
So, what do you think?
You nailed the custom cabinets.
Perfect.
It makes the space.
I'm in love with my kitchen again.
Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design makes your dream spaces a reality with custom cabinetry and a variety of countertop options like Corian, granite, and quartz, offering both in-store and in-home personalized consultation. We're with you from inspiration to installation. Your dream space is just a phone call away. PremierKitchenandBathGallery.com.
Hi, that's going to do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Focus is coming along. Hopefully, we're going to focus on the Purple Palette, a business in Michigan, in Midland, Michigan, that we're going to learn about. News comes along first, though, and then we'll be back on Focus right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kaif, and the difficult work goes on. Condo collapse in Surfside, Florida. At least 4 people known dead, 159 others unaccounted for. Rachel Spiegel is one of many people waiting for information on a loved one.
My mom is inside. She's in 603. I'm hopeful. I see them working on the 03 line right now.
I'm Peter King in Surfside, Florida. Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava says nobody is giving up hope.
We're actively involved in search and rescue from both below and from above.
It's not just about looking for signs of life, but listening for them too. Fire Operations Chief Ray Jadala.
It's not specifically, human sounds. It could be, tapping. It could be steel. Could be some of the debris kind of raining down.
To Washington now, there's where the Justice Department is set to announce it's suing Georgia over its new election law. Vice President Kamala Harris is at the southern border, arriving this morning in El Paso.
We have a day plan that will be about, as much as anything, addressing the effects of what I've already been addressing, which are the root causes of migration.
Her visit comes just days ahead of a planned appearance by former President Trump. It's sentencing day for Derek Chauvin, the former cop convicted of murdering legal analyst Lori Levinson.
It may not be as high as the 30 years that the prosecutors are asking for, but I do think at least over 12 and a half, 15, maybe even approaching 20 years. And remember, that's just the start, because Officer Chauvin also faces pending federal charges.
The government says consumer spending was flat in May, inflation was up, incomes fell for a second straight month. A wild scene at LAX. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti says a man in a car breached security.
After breaking through a fence near the airport's FedEx cargo facility, the driver sped past a line of parked jumbo jets. Witnesses then say the car drove across 2 busy runways on the airport's south side, did a U-turn back across them to outside a private terminal.
The man was arrested, the runways inspected and reopened. CBS News meteorologist Jeff Baradelli is tracking some high heat that's in the forecast for the Northwest.
We have a tremendous heat dome. It will be a record-shattering upper. And that's going to translate to lots of all-time record highs broken, both in Canada, around British Columbia, and all the way down into the Pacific Northwest.
Overseas, a rare tornado is blamed for 5 deaths in the Czech Republic. Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is up 201 points. NASDAQ is down 7. This is CBS News.
Fast and affordable financial planning for everyday Americans. No wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
It's time to find your game at Treetops Resort. Golf on 81 acclaimed holes at Michigan's most spectacular resort, Treetops Resort. There's golf for all abilities, from a guys and gals getaway to family. Resort is home to North America's #1 par 3 course, a must-play for every golf enthusiast. It's all at Treetops Resort. Enjoy a spectacular midweek stay and play for as low as $107. Treetops Resort is a short drive away. In less than 2 hours from the Tri-Cities, you'll be on the tee box for your first shot. Call 1-888-TREETOPS or visit treetops.com now.
Hey, break time?
I know you.
I'm Cologuard, a prescription colon cancer screening option for people 45 plus at average risk. It seems like you take care of yourself.
I do. I play tennis. I try to eat well.
What about screening for colon cancer?
Not yet.
Don't wait. Colon cancer is more treatable when it's caught in early stages.
Tell me more.
Cologuard is non-invasive and is used at home. It detects altered DNA in your stool to find 92% of colon cancers.
92%?
Yep, even those in early stages.
This was seen in a clinical study with patients 50 and older. Any positive result should be followed by a diagnostic colonoscopy. False positive and negative results may occur. Colonoscopy in high-risk patients. Do not use if you have had adenomas, have inflammatory bowel disease and certain hereditary syndromes, or a personal or family history of colon cancer.
Most insured patients pay $0. Ask your provider or an online prescriber if Cologuard is right for you, or visit requestcologuard.com.
I'm on it.
Excellent.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Okay. Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember the Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies, rain, and 69 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Mark Perchow. The Michigan House passed the state budget yesterday with a big focus on K-12 schools. The nearly $65 billion budget increases education funding to $16 per student spending in equal $8,700 across all districts. State Representative Timmy Beeson calls it a win for Michiganders.
Thanks to these measures, each child has access to equal financial resources and will give them an overall better outcome. This is a bipartisan win for the people of Michigan.
The legislation now heads to the state Senate for consideration. Delta College has provided more details on the transition from retiring President Dr. Gene Goodnow to incoming President Dr. Michael Gavin. Here's WSGW's Rick Antonio.
The Delta Board of Trustees approved both a short-term contract with Dr. Goodnow ending August 31st with a final performance review and a contract with Dr. Gavin starting July 1st. While not included in Dr. Gavin's contract, the board also approved a moving allowance of $15,000 to help his family move from the Arnold, Maryland area to Michigan before the school year. The overlap will allow for a smooth transition. Dr. Goodnow will hand over official duties on August 10th. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Midland Public Schools District is anticipating a budget surplus of over $400,000. That total, according to Associate Superintendent Brian Bruton, is left over from the fiscal year budget ending June 30th. Around this time last year, the district had predicted an $8.1 million shortfall. Bruton said the difference, approximately $7.7 million, would be the largest recorded difference between the budget projection and final numbers in Midland Public Schools history, but adds they could still change based on elementary and secondary school emergency relief funds. He says that change would only be for the better. WSGW News Time, 11:07.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need, from carpet to lighting, with quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, Fireplace Doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration.
WSGW News Time, 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. The Michigan House has overwhelmingly approved a $65 billion state spending plan and the release of billions in federal COVID-19 relief aid. There's an agreement between the Republican-led House and Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer, but not with the Senate. The plan would eliminate a funding gap among school districts. The proposed milestone, 27 years after Michigan overhauled the financing of public education. The next fiscal year does not start until October 1st, but a law requires lawmakers to send the governor a plan by July 1st. That could be delayed. There's an electric vehicles component in the infrastructure plan worked out by the president and Congress. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilberts.
It's not the grand plan first laid out by President Biden, but the infrastructure package does still have $7.5 billion to build up to 500,000 charging stations, particularly in rural areas and along highways. It also includes money to electrify thousands of school buses and transit buses and boost domestic manufacturing of EVs. Not included at this point, new credits for people who buy electric vehicles. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
So increasing its tuition for the upcoming academic year. Full-time incoming freshman students taking 12 credit hours will be paying $5,100 per semester or $425 per credit, up 1.92% from last year. Similar increases will be seen by continuing and upper-level students. CMU Trustee Board Chair of Finance Ed Plawecki says the school doesn't make the decision lightly, especially with the pandemic nearing the year-and-a-half mark, but says it's absolutely the responsible thing to do. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 1110. I'm Mike.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. We'll see periods of showers and thunderstorms here for today with cloudy sky conditions and a high into the mid-70s. Winds out of the south around 5 to 15 miles per hour, gusting as high as 25. And for tonight, a chance for showers and thunderstorms, cloudy sky conditions, a low near 68. By Saturday, a chance for showers and storms, cloudy high of 82 degrees. Then by Sunday, a chance for rain showers here, cloudy high of 84. Monday, another chance for rain showers here, cloudy sky conditions, a high around 81 degrees. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Fucci. SGW Weatherology Forecast.
Currently, it's 68.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. 1959.
And welcome to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. And on Focus, we occasionally like to find out about fairly new businesses and particularly unique businesses. And I think we have one of them for you today. It's called the Purple Palette in Auburn. We're going to find out about it from its proprietor. We say good morning to Joyce Hamilton. Hi, Joyce. I can see you.
Hi. Good morning.
For those of you watching on twitch.tv or YouTube or Twitter or Facebook, we are on video, and both of us are. She's in the studio, and I'm at home. So, Joyce, I have to ask for an overview of the Purple Palette. What is it, and how did it come about?
Okay, so I love my whole life. I've loved to do crafts of all different kinds. And so I decided, let's do this, kind of just, we do all different kinds of things. I have a store front, and in the store, everything is made in the U.S., including the paint. The paint's made right in Florida. And out of all the products that we sell in the store, only 4 products are not made in Michigan. Everything. And then we hold all different kinds of classes. You can do drop-in during regular business hours. If you want to make a sign or you have an idea or something, you can come and talk to me. And I usually can make it a reality for you.
I have to ask this question, Joyce. I'm a hobbyist, and I like to work with my hands too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my avocation. A lot of people say when your avocation becomes your vocation, it's not your avocation anymore. Are you still crafting?
Oh, yes. The Purple Palette is, tell everybody. I mean, I am so happy when I'm there. I just love being there. And I'm always, like, if you walk in, you'll see every single table will have something on it because I'm doing like 10 different things all at once.
Tell everybody where it is. Where is it located?
It is located on the corner of Garfield and Midland Road. It's in the Auburn Plaza. We're right in between Nori's Restaurant and Wackerly Pharmacy.
Ah, okay. Know exactly where you are.
Yep.
So let's talk about the types of items I might find if I come into the Purple Palette. What am I going to see?
Well, you're going to see all kinds of stuff. We have these amazing trees from RW Creations. They're made out of, let me think what it's called. aluminum, and then they have stained glass hanging off of them. They're so gorgeous. You're also going to see these amazing signs from C2 and Irish. They're out of Beaverton, and their signs are just incredible. We sell these awesome flags that they also make that I cannot keep in stock. As soon as I post on Facebook that I have one, it's sold like with.
It almost seems, particularly seasonally, we get toward the Christmas holidays, there are a lot of quote craft shows.
Yep.
And it almost sounds like you have a permanent craft show going on. But I can
Yes.
see some of the same things.
Yes, that's pretty much it. When the pandemic hit and when I was fortunate enough to be able to move my location to this new location, I said, there's so many people and nobody can do craft shows. And even right now that a lot of everything has been lifted, there's still not a lot of craft shows going on. So I take everything in, and we just, and it just depends. It's anywhere from 15% to 30% consignment, just depending on how much room you're taking up in my space.
So it's pretty much based on consignment for the crafter then.
Yes.
That's good. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. We're talking to Joyce Hamilton about the Purple Palette in Auburn, and we will do more of it after these notes here on Focus on WSGW.
How about a vacation?
Yeah, we've earned it.
Oh, true. Where do you want to go?
I want to go as far away as
Yeah?
as far away from my car payment as possible.
That? Paradise.
Take the summer off from your auto loan payment with Members First Credit Union. For a limited time, refinance your auto loan from another institution with MFCU, and we'll give you 1% cash back of the loan amount. Plus, you can defer your first payment for up to 90 days. Take a vacation from your auto loan. Apply today at mfcu.net/auto. That's mfcu.net/auto. Members First Credit Union.
Cashback is 1% of loan amount. Minimum loan value $5,000. Maximum cashback amount $300. Auto loan must be refinanced with MFCU from a different financial institution. Option to defer first payment for 90 days from origination date. Interest will still accrue. Model 2015 or newer. Some restrictions may apply. Offer expires 7/31/21.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Sound Asleep Lab is the only freestanding physician-owned accredited sleep home sleep and in the lab sleep studies. The most cost-efficient sleep lab with average cost less than half when compared to others. With 4 convenient locations in Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, and Mount Pleasant, with 4 full-time practitioners dedicated to treatment of sleep apnea and other sleep disorders. Appointment usually within 1 to 2 weeks. Please discuss with your primary care provider or call 989-792-2792 for appointment. 792-2792 or check us out at soundasleeplab.com.
Are you ready for retirement? Well, Jason and Carl Kreiderman with Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a new book that can help make retiring easier and empower your retirement. They talk about how a well-thought-out financial plan can make the difference between just thriving in retirement. Using everyday language, this book explores how a simple process can help you cover all the bases of your financial life, including how taxes can affect your retirement and much more. Your finances are too important to leave to chance. Empower Your Retirement is written to help you understand the must-dos to prepare for the retirement you desire. Get your free copy of Empower Your Retirement by calling 989-848-1188. That's 989-848-1188. And for more on retirement planning, tune into Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial Empower Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm provides insurance services, investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors advisor firm in the state of Michigan. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
On air and online from the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on Focus, talking to Joyce Hamilton from the Purple Palette in Auburn. I want to spend a moment or two talking about events because occasionally you have some coming up, don't you?
I do. I'm trying to do a pop-up event. It was supposed to be for tomorrow, but because of the weather, we have switched it now to July 24th from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. And we're going to have all the local vendors that sell in my store, plus more even coming in.
So let's talk about hours. When are you open?
I am open Monday and Tuesday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m., Wednesdays from noon till 6 p.m., Thursdays from, and then Fridays noon to 4.
Not open on the weekends.
I'm not usually, but I do hold classes and stuff on the weekends. So if I have a class, then we are open. The weekends just didn't seem to be like, I don't get a lot of people in there on the weekends, especially now that the weather has gotten nice.
So let's talk about the classes for a minute. When you say classes, give us an idea of some of the basics that you do, some of the basic classes.
Okay. We do canvas paintings, usually with acrylics. So I have an artist come in and she walks you through step by step of everything that you have to use and all that stuff to create beautiful paintings. My husband is part of my business also. He builds a lot of my things. So like benches, cornhole boards, planters, just all different kinds of wood things. And then you come in and I make a custom stencil for you. So you can choose whatever you want. And then you paint or stained your piece, and then I teach you how to use the stencil. If you've never painted or stained before, I teach you how to use our Dixie Belle paints, and then just show you the stenciling process.
You mentioned your paints are even made in the United States.
Yes.
Do you need different kinds of paints for stenciling than you do for anything else?
Not necessarily. I chose to use a chalk paint, and it's
explain what that is.
So a chalk paint is, I don't know how to explain it. It's a
Does it got a chalk base? I mean,
yes, and it's water based. Everything that we use in there is a water based substance, so it's like easy cleanup. Nothing stains you. I know, like Dixie Belle has like if you were to, let's say if your child was to get into it, your young child, and ingest it, it would not harm them because it's all like natural things in there.
And let's say I want to do a planter box that your husband is, does he show me how to make it, or do you have his planter boxes there?
It's already made.
Okay.
And then we just paint them in.
So it's the applique that's the class part of it.
Yes.
Learning how to do those stencilings and things of that nature. So what other kinds of classes? What are your favorite things to do?
Oh, my favorite things are acrylic pours. I am addicted to acrylic pouring.
When you say acrylic pouring, what are you making? Figurines and things of that nature, or?
Well, last night we had a private party and we actually acrylic poured atop of a bench. So you can pretty much
I see what you're saying.
All kinds of things. Usually we do a lot of birthdays, and you can pick a shape that you want to do, whether it's a letter, an animal, a sports team logo, whatever. And then you come in and then you 4 different colors of paint, and you literally pour them on the piece, and then you pick it up and you start moving it, and the paint will flow. And it turns out to be like almost like marbly looking.
So you're not making the piece. It's the pouring of the surface acrylic that you're talking about.
Yes.
Wow. That sounds interesting. Because you can do everything from a countertop to a figurine, right?
Yes.
Literally.
I have done a desk. One of those old metal desks.
Sure.
Those super heavy ones. Me and my youngest son, we poured that together.
Wow. Well, let's tell everybody again where the Purple Palette is located.
It is at 954 West Midland Road in the Auburn Plaza. If you GPS it, it won't take you there. My section of the plaza used to be attached to Pat and Jerry's.
Yes.
It has an address, but it's not shown on a GPS because it was attached to the restaurant for so long.
Yeah. All right. And you're practically right next to Nori's restaurant.
I am right next to Nori's.
Yeah. Very good. And again, your hours, so everybody knows.
Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays to 6 p.m. Wednesdays, noon to 6 p.m. and then Fridays, noon to 4.
Do you have a website or a Facebook page?
I have both. So the website is joycespurplepalette.com, and palette is spelled Palette. It's an artist palette, not a wood palette. And then the Facebook page is Purple Palette Auburn.
Well, Joyce, thanks for being with us today. We'll have to do it again.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Joyce Hamilton from the Purple Palette in Auburn. We thank you for being with us on Focus. We'll be back to close out and move on to the markets today with Baird and Company after these notes.
Wool Files in Saginaw is looking for an experienced parts counter person. You must be prompt, dependable, and knowledgeable in lawn and garden equipment. Qualified candidates can make good wages and receive an excellent benefit package at a clean, well-respected local business. For an opportunity to fill this rewarding position at one of the area's oldest, highly respected repair shops, bring a resume and apply in person to Dave at 5818 State Street, Saginaw, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. This is a full-time position and starts now. Wool Files, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw. Wool Files is an equal opportunity employer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to... But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're all trying to find the new normal this summer. Thankfully, Daily Harvest is the one thing I don't have to overthink while figuring out how to get back on track. Daily Harvest delivers delicious food built on organic fruits and vegetables right to my door. It's 0 preservatives, no added sugar, no artificial anything. Keep at least one thing simple this summer with Daily Harvest. Get started today at dailyharvest.com/radio. That's dailyharvest.com/radio.
Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get up to a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries. With the power and capacity your vehicle demands, Superstart batteries are designed for lasting performance and consistent starts. Turn the key with confidence with Superstart batteries only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Chris from Dawson Tire and Wheel, just down the road in Holly, Michigan. We appreciate how hard you work, so when you need us, call the team that will work just as hard for you. Rain or shine, day or night, we will be there for you when you need us most. With over 23 years of experience, we are your #1 source for all your farm tire and wheel needs. Now through August 31st, service calls are only $50 for all surrounding areas. So the next time you need farm tire service, give us a call at 248-215-0807. Dawson Tire and Wheel, helping people grow since 1998.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have in contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The Focus Show on WSGW. Brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. Serving you since 1959.
That'll do it for this edition of Focus. Back on Monday with more. Time to head over to Baird and Company for our ticket tip of the day, and that is where we find Steve Anderson. Steve, good morning. The futures were up. Did the market follow suit?
The market indeed did. Right now, the S&P 500 is actually at a new high. Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is ahead by 243 points, putting it at 34,440 on volume of 266 million shares. The NASDAQ is ahead by 3.5, putting it at 14,373. So not looking too bad for a Friday here.
Nice way to end the week. So what's your ticket tip?
It is. With the many ways that investments can actually be made today, people that handle all aspects of their investments themselves to cut out the middleman, that certainly is a way that you could reduce costs, and it does work for some people. There are many tasks that you can do at less expense yourself. You can work on your car, the plumbing and electrical around the house, draft a will or a trust. And I suppose in theory, now that we have YouTube, you could pull your own teeth or perform your child's appendectomy.
Ouch!
Yeah. But many people choose not to do so, even though you can figure out how by watching YouTube. Perhaps they don't have the knowledge, or they don't have the time. Well, the same is true when you're handling your financial planning and investments. You should make sure to realistically evaluate your knowledge and abilities while realizing there's not really any shame in utilizing the education and skills a financial professional provides. What you spend on fees and commissions for their knowledge can be more than recouped in the help that they give.
And how do they get some help from you to do that?
Well, you can the company in Saginaw where the telephone number is 790-5724, or you can find us on the web at rwbaird, that's BAIRD.com, and then look for the Saginaw branch.
All right, Steve, have a dry weekend, although it may be tough.
It might be tough, but it might be real tough. And then I'm off next week.
Oh, are you? Okay. Who are we gonna?
So it'll probably rain every day.
Who are we gonna talk to on Monday?
I'm still figuring that out.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, we'll find out who it is on Monday.
Absolutely. Talk to you later.
Have a great weekend and a great vacation. Bye-bye now.
I will. Bye-bye.
Steve Anderson at Baird & Company with our ticket tip of the day. Time to move over to the Farm Show with Terry Henney. That'll be along after these notes.
Grab some summertime spending cash at Saginaw Eagles Landing. It's the Summer 5K giveaway and your chance to win a cool $5,000 every Saturday in June. Each week at 10 p.m., one lucky player will win the $5,000 cash grand prize. That's $20,000 grand total. The Summer 5K giveaway every Saturday in June. Only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Let your fun out. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com.
When my parents were ready to downsize, they made the move to Wellspring Senior Living Campus in Saginaw. Not only are they surrounded by friends, they're also in a place that's focused on their wellness. With an on-site clinic, my mom and dad can be seen by the nurse practitioner for all their primary care needs. That's something we didn't see any place but Wellspring. The physical, occupational, and speech therapies on site have really helped keep my parents engaged and active, which is great for their overall well-being. When they moved in, both of my parents received an in-depth fall risk assessment that uses technology to identify and address a person's risk of falling. My mom's risk was extremely high, but it's now down to a moderate level and improving every week. The Wellspring staff has become like family to my parents, and that gives me great peace of mind.
If you'd like the Wellspring family by your side, encouraging you and your loved ones every step of the way, schedule your tour of the Wellspring Senior Living Campus at SaginawSeniorLiving.com.
Enjoy working with heavy equipment? Do you want to work at a locally owned business that cares for their employees? Ellen's Equipment is growing. They have open positions for their expanding operation, hiring full-time service technicians, sales, and parts for their McBain, Ithaca, and Beale City locations. If you have experience, a strong work ethic, are reliable and personable, you're encouraged to apply to Ellen's Equipment today. Paid time off, health insurance, life insurance, matching 401k, paid holidays, and more. Come grow with us. Go to ellensequipment.com and join Ellen's team. To apply, send your resume to hr@ellensequipment.com.
It could be the best years of your life. In retirement, you'll finally get to do what you want to do. But you have to plan for it. Start by tuning into Mindy and Nolan McIntosh of McIntosh & Associates every Sunday at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Make retirement the best time of your life. Tune in Sundays at noon for Wealth Michigan with the McIntoshes. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
2-1. Serena shot on one hop to third, bobbled by Candelario, but down to second one. Castro's relay to first. Got him! Beautifully turned double play.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW. Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henney and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.
Mostly cloudy and soggy. Good morning.